I'll send you a YouTube link, and that way you can go back or rewind if you need to.
Okay.
Okay. All righty. So I sent you a link on how to align your baseline, but I'll just go ahead and show you now.
Okay.
So basically what you need to do for your baseline to align all the lines together in your body copy is bring up your paragraph panel box. So you would just go up to Window, Types and Tables, and choose Paragraph. And this should bring up this little panel right here.
Okay.
And then what you need to do is make sure you have your body selected. You did a great job with doing your character styles, by the way.
Thank you.
And you have your little body character style ready. It looks good. Now, with that selected, what you need to do is take your cursor, your type tool in your tool panel, and go ahead and click into your type box there.
Okay.
And you'll see that your paragraph panel will become activated. And at the very bottom is where your align to baseline grid buttons are. So the one on the left is defaulted. The one on the right is what you want to select.
Okay.
Now, this is going to look goofy when I switch this because you have your character styles already kind of set up. So when I click on this, you're going to notice your leading is really spread out.
Okay.
So what we need to do, and it's very easy, is after you select baseline grid, align to baseline grid, and I don't know if you can see this because let me share, hold on. Let me share my whole screen. Sometimes you can't see my upper buttons. There we go. Once you do those steps, you'll go up to InDesign on the very top menu bar, choose Preferences, and this is what the video kind of explained. Go to your grids. Okay, and that's going to bring up your grid calculations. And what I would suggest is just taking this down to 8 points. That will probably get you where you need to be.
Okay.
And once you do that and click OK, it's going to align all of this to that. But what you need to do, because you already set up a character style, you're going to need to go in there and select all your body, just your body copy, and select that align to baseline for that to all kind of work. Let me see if I can actually select all and just do that. There we go. Perfect.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
So that's one way you can do it. Now, it's still not aligning because what's going on is you have your subheads here that are kind of making it kind of uneven. I think it's all, yeah, it's all selected there. Okay, let me go back. So what I need to do is I need to see how you have these subheads saved out. So I'm going to double click on your character style. And I'm just going to check this out here. Character color. I'm just looking at your spaces. See your general. I don't really have under spaces. Let's see here. Okay, so you have it set at 12 point at 14.4. And then these are set at 14. What I probably would do is just go ahead and set these at 14.
Okay.
The same leading as you have the other ones. And then, you should be able to just click in here and change that. So just go to a 12 point size to 14 right there where it says basic character formats. When you click onto your character style,
Okay.
and hit preview. Okay, that looks good. And it looks like I'm just going to set these because for some reason these are all normal position, normal. That looks good. For some reason, it's almost like, let me take a look at this a little further here. Based on nothing, click OK. Okay. Subheadings. Yeah, I'm still getting. Okay. So I would suggest instead of putting like a space, an actual hard space in between, just delete these spaces out. See how you have spaces in between there?
Mm-hmm.
Delete those out. There's a better way to do that.
Okay.
Delete all those out. Okay. And then double click on your body character style. And what we're going to do is we're going to, that's funny, you don't have a font style. We're just going to hit regular, set that. That's really weird. Hold on. Oh, okay. This is what's going on. This is what's happening. Okay. So there's two different styles. You have a character style and a paragraph style.
Okay.
And I don't know if this was explained properly through my demo. Okay. So the subheading is perfect. You can do this in a character style because it's, one or two words, and that's okay. Your
Okay.
body copy, you're going to want to do instead of a character style, you're going to want to make it a paragraph style because there'll be more choices like spacing after and stuff like that. So for instance, when I double click on here, you can see there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different tab options here.
Mm-hmm.
But if you double click on the basic paragraph, look how many more you have here.
Okay. Okay. So the character is kind of in with the paragraph.
So you would go
Or
up
not?
to window and you would go to styles and you have a character style and a paragraph style. Those
Okay.
are the two you really want to worry about.
Okay.
Characters for like subheads, short, like maybe one. If you want to make a one word bold in certain areas, you would make it a character style.
Okay.
However, if you're editing a lot of text, say like body copy, you want to make a paragraph style. They both mean the same thing. Although paragraph is you're affecting more type.
Okay.
You have more options. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this body copy style. Let me see, what font did you use? Georgia at 1014. Just delete this. Go ahead and hit the delete. I know it's going to scare you, but that's okay. You can reset it. And then go to your paragraph styles and just hit that little plus sign. And it's going to drop it down below the basic paragraph. The basic paragraph will always be in there. Just ignore that. We're going to double click on top of the new paragraph style that you just created. Double click over top. And we're going to name this body copy. Do the same thing you did before. Only look how many more options you have here. So now you not only do you have options to set your type size, your leading, but you also you can set your indents if you want indents. You can set spacing after each paragraph if you want, for instance. So that's what we're going to do. First, let me show you how to set indents because we were just doing spaces. So let's set indents for every paragraph. So I already set my font to Georgia like you had it, 10 points, 14 leading. Just go down to indents and spacing. And what we want is first line indent. And you can hit preview to see your changes happening as you're doing it. So first line indent, as I'm kind of doing this. Oh, you know what? There's no spaces. I wouldn't go past 0.125 is usually a good size to keep it to. Anything larger is a little bit too big. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do space after, which is on the right hand side here. This means, so after a paragraph is created, like in between say right in between a new section happening, your subhead, this is where the space after will be.
Okay.
And then you also have a line to grid option here, which is always good to kind of check to see if everything's aligned. Since I already went and aligned them before, they're all aligned here. So it's actually not setting this. I think it's because I need to assign now, because I created a new paragraph style. I need to assign it. And what that means is I got to select this body copy. And it's going to be a little hard to do like this because you already have the type in here and you already set your subheads. So what you'll need to do is select individual body copy with your type tool and then go ahead and select body copy to set that style.
Okay.
If there's any weird spacing, like right here, you're going to have to delete that out.
Okay.
So highlight this part, body copy, and it's going to set it to that style. Now, typically it's not like this redundant, but because you already kind of had this set in the wrong paragraph style sheet, we kind of have to we have to do it the long way.
Okay.
But see how it's leaving that space in between?
Mhm.
Some of these have to be deleted though. There we
Okay.
go. So you have some weird spacing issues going on here, but we can fix that. And just go through here, assign your paragraph style. That's all aligned. And then what we'll do is we'll fix your subheads.
Okay. With the body copy, I know we are trying to avoid orphans and widows. What about hyphenation at the end of a line? Because like that bothers me, but I don't
Yes.
know if it matters.
No, that's perfect that you asked that. How you can avoid that is if you go, and I just moved something around here. Hold on. Got my style packs. If you go to your paragraph panel again, if you go up the window, types and tables, paragraph, and you click on the upper right-hand corner, it'll give you more options here. There's a hyphenation selection that you can select. And this is where you can control that.
Okay.
So you can have this selected and words with at least, and you can kind of figure this out. I usually like to just pull the slider to a few hyphens, and then that'll fix everything
Okay.
in your copy. Now, you noticed how there's a plus sign now with your paragraph style? That means something changed there, that it's assigned to it, but like you're doing something different to it. And that's just because I actually accidentally selected your subhead and selected body copy to change it, and I didn't need to do that. So I just need to get back up to our character style. Let's pull up character styles, because we want to set your subheads as character styles, not paragraph styles, just like you had it perfectly set. And I messed it up. So hold on, where's my character style? It's somewhere here. Right there. Okay. So now I just need to go back and reset this. And in doing so, let me go ahead and double click on it. For some reason, it's giving it an indent here. Oh, you know why? Because you have to select basic paragraph.
Okay.
So you just have to hit this, and then that'll take the paragraph style that we had on it off of it. And that should make it work. So this one should be okay. Yeah, that one's okay. Let's see. That fixed anything up here. Yep, that looks good. Now, it looks like your baselines are still not aligning here. Trying to figure that out, why that's not aligning. What I would suggest is pull your body text box to your margin.
Okay.
To the right there, and then to the bottom, just make sure it's all aligned perfectly. And then I would just gain as much space here as I would in your gutter, just to make it look more equal. I don't know why. Let's see what's going on here. Let me delete some of these. No, I think it's the spacing in between here.
Okay.
That's what's happening. It looks like it's almost like, there we go. I think that's actually helping here. Hold on 1 second. Some reason the styles are all off since we had to redo a lot of this stuff. Okay. Is this aligning? This one looks good. This one's aligning perfectly.
Okay, cool.
This one is not for some reason. And I can't figure it out. Must be like a weird space in here or something. Let me just mess with this real quick here.
Okay.
And this is basic paragraph. This is set body copy. Body copy. Everything looks good there. Yeah, everything's good here. Let me just make sure you don't have anything going on with layers. No. Okay. Really strange. This should be aligning to the grid.
It's
Let me
just because it's my project.
Yeah. No, this sometimes happens. Sometimes it's like, it's just a one little space that you can't see,
Right.
and let me see here. Say none and then all lines.
So weird.
I'm wondering if it's let me see what body copy. Let me see what your gutter is. First line indent, space after. Okay, I just decreased. See how that space is getting bigger now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's try this. It's weird because the page before it is actually aligning perfectly. And this one is not. 325 left align, balance ragged lines. That's good. Let me try something real quick. I'm gonna go up to
Does it have
grid.
anything to do with maybe like the columns being different sizes? I did a lot of like moving and respacing to try and make things fit and look good, but it wasn't
Okay, that just
systematic.
did it. That just snapped it
Okay.
in there. That shouldn't, because it doesn't matter what the width is,
Okay.
as long as you could make it as wide as you want. It should all still align. Now I just increased
Okay.
this to 10 points. But it's too spread out. So what I'm gonna do, let me try something real quick here, and then I'll explain this to you. So
Okay.
I went to 10 points for your body copy. Let's go ahead and decrease the leading. Let's do 12. And then it's just finding that. Yeah, that's okay. I'm gonna undo what I just did here. Hold on. Because that's actually a good 10 by 14 is a good 20% formula to have like the point size versus the leading. So what
Okay.
we're going to do is we're just going to go up to preferences and grids, and we're going to mess around with this. Let's change it to 9 points. And it's something to do with like the leading and how it's snapping to grid. Let me go up to view, grids and guides, show baseline grid. And why isn't it showing? Do I have to zoom in? I think I have to zoom in. There we go. Let's see. So all of these should be aligning. See how that's not aligning there?
Mm-hmm.
But on your second page, oh, now it's changed. Now it's getting all messed up. Let's see. What we're gonna do here is we're going to play around with these settings. So we're gonna go to grids. We had it at 10 and that was perfect. See how it's like all snapped perfectly
Mm-hmm.
now? But the leading is too wide. So let's do relative to increment 10 points of threshold 75. Let's just do 12 real quick here. It's going to be too wide. Let me just try some real quick. Okay. It's just finding that ratio
Okay.
in between here. Let me do 9. And because that's not even, it's not gonna. I don't know what, oh, you just used Georgia, so that's good. I was gonna say that probably shouldn't be, it's 8 point. All right. Yeah, this shouldn't really have anything to do with that. It's the spacing after. Let me try to adjust the spacing after again here. Bless you.
Thank you. If it's easier, I can just start over on the body copy part.
I'm trying to figure this out here. First line indent, that shouldn't have anything to do. Let's space after. No, we don't want that much. I would say like 0.1. Well, let's do 0.25 like we had it. All lines indent. Let me just make these real quick. Same size as our body copy.
Okay.
And then spacing after. Okay, see how there's this bigger space here than here? That's weird.
Yes.
Okay, so that something's going on there. We gotta figure out body copy. Subheading. Oh, that's really weird. Okay, that's probably what's messing it up.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure this out now. Space after. Okay, this is 8. Body copy. Oh, I know why, because this was set as body copy. I gotta get rid of this grid here. I can't see. It looks bigger here. Is there a space here? Yeah, it looks like it. Body copy. I don't know why, but it seems really big right there, that space.
Yeah.
And it's almost like space after is bigger. Cancel, no, I won't do that. Let me see. Space after. There's no space after here. Let me see if there's a space after here. Okay, I just aligned a grid on that basic paragraph, but it shouldn't really matter because we have this selected. Let me hit none and go back to this. There's something going on with your subheading. Let me copy this. Let me delete this subheading. You have, let me see what you have. Army, maybe it's the typeface you chose. Okay.
Okay.
Let me delete this. And I'm going to set everything as body copy. Okay, now it's all syncing. You can see it's aligned. The only thing is we don't want these to be like this. We want these to be a character style. So we're going to delete the character style for the subhead. We're going to create a new one.
Okay.
Subhead for character. We're going to give it like the same typeface as you did for the body copy, only we're going to make it bold.
Okay.
Instead of that weird typeface. I don't know, maybe it had something to do with that typeface.
Who knows?
Let's do 12 by, let's just do auto. And then click, oh, we could do a character color. So we'll pick that color that you picked. I thought that was good. No paragraph for that. So you'll just need to go back and say no paragraph, subhead. There's an extra space here, which I just screwed that up. There we go. So I'm just resetting this.
Mm-hmm.
Good thing I'm recording this. You could go back and be like, what did she do again? Okay. Now the spacing after is a little bit too much. So let's go ahead and adjust that. So where did I last end up here? This should be subhead. And why does this have a plus sign on it? Why is this is weird. Okay. Oh, okay, because I all right, I'm just gonna ignore that for now. Okay. And then what I'm gonna do is adjust the spacing after because I think it's a little bit too much. Let's do 0.125. It's still kind of weird. Okay. Is it? This is good. This one's fine. It's this one. Now, there is a weird space above this word that I'm wondering, which is in between the body text box. Do you see how much space is compared to like over here? Now, there is a way that you can edit that. Body copy box. Yeah, let me look that up real quick because I usually don't do this. So like I always have to look it up how to do that. How to adjust space in text box. There is a way. Oh, okay. Okay, this is how you do. Oh, I got 10 minutes left. That's nice. Okay, if I log out, if this logs me out, I'll just come back in. Just bear with me here. Okay, so with the selection tool, select the frame. So I'm going to select this with the selection tool using the type tool. Click inside the text frame, choose object text frame options. In the inset spacing section on the general tab, type the offset distances you want. Columns and inset, align top, which is good. Fixed number. You have 2 columns here. You have your gutter set, which is perfect. We already know that.
Yeah. How many people do you suspect calling?
I mean, this all looks good. Your gutter is 0.1875. That's fine.
Is this an RSVP thing or is it just show up?
Well, there goes my dog. Yeah, there's some way that you can adjust this. And I think that's what's happening is there's that extra space on top. Let me try to figure that out. But do what I just told you, and I'll try. There is a way you can adjust that.
Okay.
This looks fine. This one looks good as far as like the alignments. I would just pull this so that it aligns more to the margin. And I would pull this over so it aligns to that margin. And it looks like you still have some, see this little red box here?
Mm-hmm.
That means you still have type because we kind of,
Okay.
we have 2 little lines of text. So if that happens when you're editing this, all you need to do is maybe just adjust maybe like this box, this image, which is fine because I think that it would be good to have a text wrap around this, a little bit more of a text wrap because it's kind of getting close to the type. Now, did you do a text wrap on this?
I believe I did.
Okay. If you didn't, oh yeah, you do. It's right here. So just add more space to your, not to your top, to your left. I'd say like 0.125, and then the bottom looks good. That helps. And then what I would do is just pull maybe, I would probably pull it down and then pull it up. So you're kind of leaving more of the nicer image left. You know,
Okay.
there's a lot more top than there is bottom. And see how that kind of raised your type so it fits in there better.
Hmm.
So that's all you would need to do for that.
Okay.
Here I would add quotes.
Yes.
And you might want to even space this out a little bit. It's not, if you come up to this problem, okay, so this is kind of
There's-
frustrating. If you're trying to adjust the letting here and it's not letting you, it's because this in paragraphs is aligning to baseline grid. So all you need to do is select this first box here where it's not going to align it to a grid. So it's more free to space out the letting.
Okay.
See how I did that?
Yes.
Because I wouldn't be able to adjust the letting because it's trying it to align it to a grid. So if it's not part of the body copy, it doesn't have to be aligned to a grid as far as
Okay.
like the setting. Okay, that looks good. Yeah, let me figure this out. This is going to drive me crazy.
Okay.
But I think this top part, there is a way you can adjust that spacing on inside your body copy box, but I'm like drawing a blank right now. So let me research that and I'll get back to you, but that might shift things so that you're able to get all these on the same baseline on this first column.
Okay.
This is all part of the same.
Yes, that was like the introductory paragraph right after the title.
Okay.
So I was just
What I would probably do, because I kind of I'm throwing in a loop here this week where this is kind of what clients do to you. They're like, oh, now I want you to move what you did and add this. So this is kind of what I'm doing to you guys. So you guys are going to be putting a content box in here, a table of contents.
okay.
So why don't we, in the process, why don't we move this type so that it's part of this, and then that way
Okay.
you have this area for table of contents.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense. All right,
Yes.
so let me copy, and I'm going to paste this copy in here. So that'll be like your first copy, and then we'll just adjust this. We'll put more space here. Oh, look, it snapped really nicely there.
That'll fix everything.
But see how there's more space above here now. I don't know, but it's actually aligning now. So let's just leave it at that. And then I'm going to pull this. I'm going to pull all of this to the right. So kind of just, it's kind of like starting its own. I'm going to put a text wrap one here. Its own section over here, so it's not hard to read. Here's my text wrap, and let's do. Oops. That was good. So just align this to like that first box here.
Okay.
Same thing with this. I would probably make this a little smaller so you can get that in there. But it's still like a subhead. Now this is also linking to a grid, so just unlink it if you need to move it around and center it.
Okay.
And let's see, project. Let's fill this frame proportionately. Pull him down a little bit so there's no white gap on the top. So now you can have this whole area up here set for your table of contents.
Okay.
See how nicely that,
Yes.
guys, you can see how that's all turning out there. See how nice that looks now with everything kind of together. I might
Yes.
even suggest making the drop shadow just a little less like dark and as wide. Just pull that in just a little bit.
Okay.
You don't have to make it so big. So I just double clicked on that FX and I decreased the distance and the size and the opacity. So it's a little bit more subtle. It's not so dark. You know, it looks a little bit, you could do the same here too. The problem with type with drop shadows, sometimes it makes it harder to see, but if you have a subtle, smaller, more subtle drop shadow, it's not too bad.
Okay.
So it looks pretty good. Okay, so now you have all of this. I'm going to take the stroke off of this to fill in once you get the table of contents ready to go. You can fill that in. Let's send it back. All right, that looks good. I'm just sending this to back so there's no white gaps showing there.
Okay.
Page numbers is another thing we need to work on, but that's pretty simple. Do you want me to show you how to do that?
I just forgot, honestly. I watched
Okay.
the lecture and that seemed easy enough.
Okay. So you're good with that.
Yes.
And then I'll just probably just move this over even just so that it aligns more with your columns.
Okay.
Right there. That's perfect. And maybe just size this down a little bit for the drop shadow. You like your drop shadows.
Yeah. That's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about too. I feel like my designs are just so incredibly boring and like I use the same things because I don't know how to punch things up in InDesign yet.
Well, it's all about how you divide up the page and equalize the images versus text, because it can get kind of copy heavy sometimes depending on how you have everything set. But as far as let me pull this down. I think the text wrap is messing with your alignment too. Hold on one second. Making it more exciting. You're kind of limited to, you see, as designers, what we usually do when you're designing like a newsletter or say like a magazine, you're going